Hello everybody, welcome back to Simple Gaming Review. Today it is early in the morning, or not early, but it's like 10 o'clock or whatever, almost 11, but I want to make a quick video on the PlayStation 5 today. Just my recent experience with the console, which I've had 5 days with the PlayStation 5. I've already made tons of videos with the Nintendo Switch 2, so it's time to change my content a little bit and talk about the PS5. I've been trying to do a variety of different things, so I made a whole bunch of videos on the Switch 2 with my thoughts on the Switch 2 and my opinions on the Switch 2, but now I wanted to make a video on the PlayStation 5. Now, if people didn't know, if you haven't seen my past videos, I actually had a blue PlayStation 5 because I bought the blue plates from the official PlayStation website. And I had my PS5 with the blue plates for, I think it was like 6 months, 5 months, whatever. It was when the PS5 Slim first came out. And what happened to my original PlayStation 5 Slim, my blue one, is that it, for some reason, wouldn't recognize my licenses, so certain games wouldn't work or wouldn't run. It was only PlayStation 4 games, actually, not PS5 games. Like my Killzone game, Killzone Shadowfall, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Certain PS4 games would just not work, or would say that you have 15 minutes to play because you don't have the license to the game. Every time I would restore the licenses to some of my PS4 games, they just wouldn't work for some reason. Ash's Playroom would work, my PS5 games would work. But for some reason, my PlayStation 4 games on my original PS5 Slim, my blue one, just wouldn't work correctly. So I'm not sure if it was like a patch that had to be made, if it was an update that needed to happen. I'm not sure what the issue was, but I ended up, trading in my original PlayStation 5 Slim, my blue one, for the Nintendo Switch 1, which some people thought that was an insane decision. I said I would never go back. But the PlayStation 5 has had some new games coming out, like Ready or Not, Phasmophobia, and a few others I really wanted to play and try. So I did buy another PlayStation 5 Slim. I got this one from Walmart, and I've spent like 7 or 10 hours on Phasmophobia. And the other thing with the PlayStation 5 is that the generation itself has been kind of like, it's been a very slow start, so a lot of people still feel that you might as well just stick with the PlayStation 4 this generation. And my original issues with the PS5 originally, or like just the 9th generation in general, is that there wasn't really enough games coming out for the system. However, it's started to kind of shift or change a little bit, where Sony is starting to bring out more new exclusive PS5 games that I actually want to play, or games from the PC like Phasmophobia that I really want to play. So me getting the PS5 was like, I went to the PlayStation Store to look at some new games. I want to play Phasmophobia, I want to play Ready or Not, I want to play, what's that game called, Squirrel with a Gun? Games like that. So yeah, I've been playing some brand new PS5 games that do not work on the PlayStation 4. And honestly, I've gained some more, I'd say, appreciation for the PlayStation 5. Originally, when I had my issues, I was like, I'm never looking back. PlayStation 4 was perfect. It was really hard for me to, shift from a PS4 to a PS5. I think people hold on to past consoles, and I think one of the reasons why some people do have issues with the PS5 is like, a lot of people, millions of people are still using PlayStation 4s still, and like some people think it's like not that much of an upgrade. But I've learned to start to appreciate the PlayStation 5 more. It's a very fast console. I actually really like the SSD. It downloads games quicker, it loads games quicker. It took only like 28 minutes to download Call of Duty World War II, while on PlayStation 4 it would take almost an hour just to download a single game. So I've started to appreciate the PS5 a little bit more because of the speed. The controller I've actually started to really enjoy and like, with the haptic feedback on shooting games. And I really like the brand new PS5 games that we're getting, like Phasmophobia, Ready or Not. Of course, you can play Phasmophobia on Xbox and PC as well. But just Phasmophobia coming to PlayStation was something that really made me want to jump back into a PlayStation 5. But I've started to appreciate the console more. I love the design. I love the fast speeds. And I love that Sony is finally getting new PlayStation 5 games that are only on the PS5. You know, the biggest issues with this console generation is that it's been really hard for developers, or just Sony in general, to shift more towards PS5. Many PS5 games have a PlayStation 4 version, and they're still coming out with PS4 version of games. So I think some big issues with this generation is that they are still focused on the PlayStation 4. And PS5 has had a very slow start. Like at launch, it only had like 5 exclusive new games, and some of those games were just remasters of PS4 games, right? So I think the big thing with this generation is that it's felt more of the same, just slightly more powerful. But I've learned to have appreciation for the PS5 because it's pretty much everything people have wanted. Faster speeds, SSD, better, I'd argue better build quality, faster speeds, SSD, it's 4K for people who have 4K TVs and stuff. It does have a way better controller. A PS5 controller is way superior to a PS4 controller. I used to feel differently, but now I'm just like, after using the PS5 for this week with the PS5 controller, it's been pretty great with the haptic feedback and everything. So I've just learned to appreciate the console more. And even though I had issues with my blue PS5 that I owned previously, I was actually really happy to get back into the PlayStation 5 and just kind of try it out again. I know I said fuck it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to leave the generation alone. I'm not even going to get any new consoles. And then here I am going back into the PlayStation 5. And of course I bought the Switch too. But I like the PS5 so far. And I probably will play some more Phasmophobia today. And some other games. But anyway, I'm in the video. Hope you all enjoy. Leave a like. Comment down below what you think about the PlayStation 5 and this generation. But I just want to say I've learned to appreciate it a little bit more this time around. And I think it is a good replacement for the PlayStation 4. Anyway, peace out. I hope you all have a good day or night.